Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Destiny's Desires, where we come together to grow, motivate, and inspire the best versions of ourselves. I am Destiny, of course, and if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are back, what's up fam? As you guys can tell by today's title, we are going to be doing a new video on my new segment, Dishes with Destiny, and today we're making chili. Alright guys, so this is going to be a list of everything you guys are going to be needing in order to prepare today's meal. You're going to need one large cutting knife for the different vegetables that we will be using, a large spatula, a set of measuring spoons, and one large pot for everything that we're going to be cooking today. We're going to need 1 can of rotel tomatoes of your choosing. I decided to get the hot kind because when I cook, I like to have my food have a little extra spice. So whenever there's an option for a spicy switch, I go ahead and do so. You're also going to need 2 cans of chili beans. I went ahead and got the spicy ones as well, just because I want my food to have an extra kick. You're going to need 2 cans of the stewed tomatoes. I decided to get the Italian style. That's because they have the garlic and the oregano in there, and that just gives it an extra spice to the meal. In regards to seasonings, today we're going to need cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Tony saccharin, chili powder, and black pepper. For the veggies today, I have 2 jalapeños diced, half of an onion, and half of a green pepper. You're going to also need 3 tablespoons of softened butter. And last but not least, you're going to need the ground beef of your choosing. So that's all the ingredients we're going to need to use today, guys. Without further ado, let's get right into the next clip of the video. Alright guys, so the very first step that we're going to do is we have our pan on medium heat, and in there we have our softened stick of butter. We're going to go ahead and toss in our veggies. We want to get these sauteed just a little bit before we brown our ground beef. I would say that we're going to saute these on medium heat for about anywhere 5 to 10 minutes, depending about how long it takes for them to cook. You want to start to smell the onions and the green peppers coming together. You want the flavors start working together. I'm going to go ahead off camera, let these saute for the next 10 minutes. And when I come back in, we're going to start browning our ground beef. Alright guys, so I've been sauteing my veggies for about 5 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and mix these up a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and add our ground beef in. And I usually just kind of put half in at first. And then put the other half in, just so it's not one big blob. I typically use a spatula just because I think it's easier for me to break the meat apart. And I feel like it also saves your pans and your pots a little wear and tear versus using metal utensils or using like a fork or a spoon. So I go ahead in with my spatula and I kind of break the meat apart a little bit just in smaller pieces. That way I feel like it will brown easier, and then this way the meat can get a little bit of flavor and seasoning from the different peppers and veggies that we're using today. So after I sauteed these veggies, I went ahead and turned my oven onto medium-high heat. That way it will brown my meat just a little bit faster. This is kind of a slower meal that you prepare after everything is added together. We're going to let it simmer. So you want to take your time with this meal. The longer it cooks, the better. So I'm going to let you guys see just a quick little video of how I put the ground beef into smaller pieces. Then I'm going to go ahead and just mix it in with the veggies. And we're going to let that cook off camera from about 10 minutes or until the ground beef is brown. Alright guys, so now that my ground beef is fully cooked, it is time to add in our seasonings. And so this total recipe is going to call for 1 tablespoon of all of the recipes that I introduced at the beginning of the video. At this portion, we are only going to be measuring out about 1/2 of a tablespoon of all these seasonings. I'm just going to do them by hand because I've kind of got my own method down. But if you are at home and you're not that good with measuring by eye, go ahead and use your measuring spoons. Like, what is going on with me right now? Use your measuring spoons at this portion. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add in about 1/2 of the cayenne pepper, 1/2 tablespoon of the Tony saccharin, And this is just to make sure that we have flavorful meats. I'm all about flavor in the meals that I prepare. And so I definitely always make sure my seasonings are on point. We're going to do half a tablespoon of the onion powder, half a tablespoon of the garlic powder. We're going to do half a tablespoon of the black pepper. And last but not least, half a tablespoon of the chili powder. So once we add all of these seasonings in, I'm going to go ahead and give them a little extra mix. And you should see your meat changing in a little bit of color because we're going to be having some different seasonings on there. So it's going to bring your meat a little bit to life. After we add the seasonings, the next step that we are going to do is now we're going to go ahead behind that and add in our rotel hot tomatoes. And I go ahead and add the whole can in. And as I add each ingredient, I go ahead and mix the chili. That way I can make sure every ingredient is being thoroughly dispensed amongst the chili. So now that I got those tomatoes in there, the next thing I'm going to do is my 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. Don't know how well you guys are able to see that, but we're going to put the stewed tomatoes in. And we have 2 cans of those. I'm gonna go ahead and mix those things in. And this chili smells so good, guys. Every time I cook it, it totally makes the entire house smell so homey. And I just love it so much. It's so yummy. It's so good. It's such a comfort food, especially with the season right now being January. And with us having colder weather, chili always makes the day a little bit better. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my chili beans, which are the last 2 things we're gonna add into here. That was such a bad reach, I'm sorry guys. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in our other can of chili beans. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix all of that together and make sure that everything is evenly distributed into the pot. And the very last thing that I'm going to do to top this chili off is we're going to go ahead and add in that other half of tablespoon of all of our seasonings. This is just to make sure that all of everything is getting seasoned. Make sure that the beans are seasoned, the tomatoes are seasoned. We're going to let this simmer for 45 minutes after I have all the seasonings inside. And you're going to see a difference in the way that the tomatoes taste. Everything's going to soak up that flavor and that spice. And it's just really going to make the meal go to another level. So I'm going to go ahead and put that half a tablespoon of all the other seasonings in there. And after we have all the seasonings in, I'm going to turn my chili down to medium heat. And we're going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes. I'm going to come back after 20 minutes, check my chili, make sure everything's looking good and it's not overcooking. Check it and make sure that I'm not losing some of the consistency of the juices from the tomatoes and the chili powder. And if we're good on that, then I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to low heat and I'm going to let it cook the remainder of the 25 minutes. All right, guys, so this is the final view of the chili. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. Please don't forget to comment, like, thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the love and support that you guys give me. And until next time, bye.